Today is Tuesday, September the 8th, and I can keep this pretty short. This was a decidedly down day today. You can see by the FinViz, pretty high volume in the Dow. NASDAQ lower than you'd expect, given the flood of selling in Tesla, Apple, Amazon, and the S&P was just about average. But the one you want to look at here is the Mcclellan Oscillator, which has now gone into the oversold region, almost down to the area where we had this little drop in the S&P. But look here, we had this top, and then we had this drop, and then we had sort of a fake move up, and then we dropped again. And that could be what you're going to see here. There are some things to notice. First of all, the decliners led advancers by 1,740 symbols. But look at the S&P. Reason to suspect that there might be a good day tomorrow is because you have the 50-day EMA and underneath it the SMA, and you still have the Chiku span being supported by these candles. But tomorrow's bounce could be short-lived because I still believe we're looking for support on the cloud, which we haven't seen since May 14th. But cloud support is pretty important. If you look back here and here, now here it was important and it just passed right through it like a needle and shot down. But the cloud support is fairly decent right here. I think that's where we're headed. So I wouldn't be buying anything tomorrow. But if you were, what would you buy? Well, you had Apple, but Apple finished down at the low of its range. If you look at this Fibonacci, which is this wave up, we've retreated 50%. So 50% of this gain, which is a bounce off the 50, and we are still approaching the 50. It's down here at 108.82. It's quite possible that we pulled down to the 50 again. That might be an opportunity for you to nibble and buy a little bit. I wouldn't be buying the stock. I would be selling safe puts. And I would be picking a price of around 105.55, where you have the 38.2%, because, and that 38.2% is off of this wave, bouncing off of this 50 EMA and being projected forward. So this wave would be replicated by this move, which you can see stopped at 114.6% of a Fibonacci. Not a great Fibonacci number, but one nonetheless. By the time we'd come down to hit the cloud, we might hit this 38.2. So that might be an area that we want to take a look at. So I'm just going to put this here so we mark that line in the sand. Caterpillar, this is the weekly. Let's look at the daily. Now it did pull back after hours, but only a little bit. Expect the market to react tomorrow to the news that AstraZeneca's Oxford clinical trial for the coronavirus has been put on hold. Frankly, I don't think that it's a big deal. I think it's just something that they had to do, given one patient had a mysterious illness. But does the market really care about that, or do they just care about the bigger picture? Home Depot did not come down and touch the cloud, but it's coming down to maybe down to this previous high right here. So let's draw a line right here. This is the highest point that we closed on a prior move up before going down. We could be coming back to that point again because you can see that it was resistance here, so it should be support there. So let's wait for Home Depot to show us that it's got support in the 250, 255 area. Whirlpool had an okay day, finished up off of its lows. Let's look at some new ones because I think that they're important. Let's look at Amazon, and let's look at this Fibonacci pattern right here, which is February 19th down to the bottom. This is the coronavirus move. And if we drew and extended a Fibonacci from there, look at where the important points are. We got rejected at 400%. We got rejected here at 361.8. We got support at 261.8, support at 300. So you can see this is a pretty good Fibonacci. And right here, the 200% expanded move was resistance, and then we came back here on this day, June 28th, to test it. So that's an important Fibonacci number. And this 161.8 is also an important Fibonacci number. Resistance, 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 support, and move up. So this is a very good Fibonacci set. You would expect it now to go down to 30.65.30, and that would be the first time you would look at nibbling into Amazon, but I wouldn't do it. Let's see, we want to look at Tesla. Wasn't Tesla an interesting stock? Let's look at Netflix first. And we've got Netflix getting resistance here at this 261.8%. Again, the coronavirus moved down, stopped at 261.8% once. Support at 178.6, stopped again at 261.8. So that's a good set of Fibonacci's. Just clean it up a little bit, remove some of the ratios and that are less important, and you can see that 100% was resistance, support, support, and then it took off. That also is a good set of Fibonacci's. So the Fibonacci's are working. So the Fibonacci's are working for the big stocks. Let's look at, Shopify used to be one that we really liked, and it's pulling back. Tesla, look at that. Where did it get support? On the 50 simple moving average, but the cloud is still there. And look at the Chiku span. We'll get support in the coming days down at this area of 300. So expect support maybe September 18th, right around there, the end of next week. Would be a coincidence with the Chiku span hitting these candles and the price actually hitting the cloud. So Tesla, we're looking for 300. Bottom line is there's really no good news in the market. Don't be fooled by this support at the 50. If there's a bounce tomorrow, it will quickly be wiped out. If not by the end of the day, then certainly by Thursday.